So, we have obtained a lantern. We have obtained a rifle. A variant, in fact.
Pack is getting kind of heavy.
Thank you for that, Jennifer. A bedroll, however, still MIA. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more of The Long Dark in our Against All Odds series. I am here in Coastal Highway. We're going to poke our heads back out this direction and hopefully not get yelled at by any wolves in the area. Nope, looking good. So there's a couple different directions I could go. I do need to eat something relatively soon. Where are the wolves? You know what? Let's go ahead and take this thing out just in case. I don't see the wolves. Oh, there's one. Okay. Interesting that the aiming reticle for Barb's rifle... I've gotten this rifle before, but I don't think we've ever gotten it in a recorded playthrough. What I love about this rifle is that it's aiming... Like, the sights actually look very similar to the original tapered front sights on the Long Dark's rifle. As many of us who have been playing the game for a long time will recall, there was a tapered front sight for a long time, and then the front sight was changed to be the current model, which is that very block-like front sight. This feels a little bit more old school, while still having a kind of flat top. It's not as much of a point as the old one was.
I wonder if I can drop any of
But
this
Barb's
away.
rifle is indeed a bit of a throwback. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bet on that house up to the left, or up to the right, rather, being completely burned out. It almost always is. On low baseline resource availability, which is one of the things that determines how many houses are burned out. Come to think of it, that is another thing in the custom settings that have been teased by Raphael for this year, now that it's 2025. Happy New Year, everybody. Raphael has teased these updates to the custom code, or the custom, you know, options for creating custom codes. And one of them could very well be some, like, additional variability on, like, how many houses are burned out versus how many are still standing. That would be wild, because that actually has the potential to dramatically affect... Maybe dramatically is a bit of a strong word, but I feel like it would affect significantly. Let's say significantly. In a statistical sense, it would affect significantly the loot game. Okay. Trying to keep my head in the swivel here. Alright, we're going to have some acorns. We could also have some acorns if we go that way. Alright, there's some deer. Yeah, I'm going to keep going this way. I have some syrup. Had a community member ask me just earlier, like, hey, why are you not eating that syrup? Or drinking that syrup, I guess? Why are you not consuming it? The reason is that I want to try... Oh, really? You know, I have to say, this... Freaking... The upper regions of Coastal Highway still drive me nuts. In terms of the exact layout and where all of these different paths go. It doesn't matter how long this zone has been around, I will go up a certain path from a certain area and then just end up in a different spot than I expected to be.
I'm not sure I can carry much
I'm
more.
honestly kind of happy that it brought me here, because there's a good chance I might find some food in here. All I really need is one food item, and then I can keep moving. As I mentioned in the end of the last episode, I'm going to be making my way towards Desolation Point, but I'm not in, like, a huge hurry to get to Desolation Point. I'm just not. So I'm open to exploring other options. I really don't want to lose welfare. Here's nice jeans. Okay, cool. Great. That's actually a win. I'll take it. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear we have any other wins here. Yeah. Nothing. Okay. Well, if I had more time to prepare these acorns, I would. I could eat a carrot if I didn't want to consume the syrup. I'm saving the syrup for pancakes, because pancakes. I could drink the coffee, give myself a little bit more energy, which I will do. And I guess I will eat one carrot. because I am going to try and hold on to that syrup if I can. I have a potato as well. So there are some things that I could cook in relatively short order. But I want to try to hold on to those things as much as possible. Let me duck across here real quick. Grab some more acorns. And then I'm going to keep walking that way because I think I would rather check out the camping area.
It's getting kind of heavy.
I'm still, as I mentioned, looking for a bedroll. That's priority number one. There's a chance I could find one in Desolation Point, but we also need to go to Desolation Point for tools. So that's why I'm not in a hurry, because I will need tools, but the thing I would like to find first is a bedroll, especially if I'm going to start moving in between zones. It's not absolutely necessary, but that's the decision that I'm making. I do hear some wolves up ahead in this general direction, so I'll have to be mindful. Thankfully, though, I've got this. So if any wolves dare come at me, I can at least push back that way. Now we have this bear cave here. The bear itself is nowhere to be seen, which is interesting. There's normally a bear here. Could have wandered down the path. Where exactly the bear is, who freaking knows? Nobody knows. They've changed up the wildlife. Okay, so if I come through here and then hang a left, I will find myself the campsite. I don't know how safe said campsite is, but the weather is not looking very nice. Don't love that. Don't love it very much at all. Also, don't love this blind double corner here, because there could be a wolf on either side of me, and I wouldn't... Yeah, okay. Alright, we're in pretty good shape. Campsite right around the corner. Don't see a wolf behind me, don't see a wolf in front of me. Okay. Ooh, boy. So yeah, it really is funny. Despite having had this zone for as long as I've been making content for the Long Dark, which is more than 9 years. It's funny how many times I can still get turned around up here in these upper pathways, because they zigzag and crisscross back and forth. Okay, so those are always burned out on the left, at least on this loot setting, but on the right... Hang on. I don't trust there not to be a surprise wolf, like, sneaking out from behind the buildings. Okay. Alright, perfect. Yep. These two, like, are like, universally always standing. Which is pretty nice.
If I can drop any of this gear.
Okay, let's see if we can actually find some food here. Before we are forced to consume things we don't want to consume. No, I don't want to break down. Stop it. Go away. I don't want to break that down yet. Metal container.
I think I can use this.
No, no. No, Jennifer, you can't. You can't. It's useless. It has no use. I will accept no argument to the contrary. There is no point whatsoever. You don't need it. It's fine. Alright, no food there. Not having a lot of luck on this particular loot run. Not loving it. I mean, the pants are nice, I guess. But I might have to consume that syrup after all. I suppose I could have made the acorns a little bit sooner. That might have done it. Oh well. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
I'm not
All
sure I
right.
can carry much more.
Not seeing anything. I have the other carrot. And the acorns, like, are not going to provide a ton of value either. What I really need to do is head over to the far side of the zone and get some cattails, and that could bring me back down. You know what? Maybe I just need to do that. Maybe that's what we need to do. Because we're already headed, like, halfway there. Screw it. Let's eat the carrot. Let's eat the carrot and see how far we can get in this terrible weather. Do not love this situation at all. Oh, hey, a backpack. If there's food in this, I'm going to laugh.
This'll come in handy.
Oh my god. Are you kidding me? I just ate my last carrot game. That's so disrespectful. Okay. We're still going to keep moving. Yeah, I like this idea more and more the more I think about it. So, we could head up here. Not literally here, but we could head up to the forestry lookout, which is above these. Somewhere up there. And I do want to do that because I think that's one location where we're likely to find... You know what? Yeah, let me try and do it.
And this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Let me see if I can do this. I don't think that's traversable, though. I think this is one way. Although that, I don't know. This central area of the slope looks promising to me. I can't remember. Yeah, right here is where it doesn't look passable. Let's check, though. Yeah, that's definitely not passable. Okay. Well, yeah, this is one way. I would like to get up there because that's one spot where I think a bedroll is more likely. But we're not getting up there from this side of things. What I'm going to do is keep heading this way. And we'll eventually get to the ravine. We won't go to the ravine, but it'll be like heading towards the Mystery Lake path. I don't think that's traversable either. It looks more traversable. Let's see if it is. Because all I really want to... If I can find an easy way up to that lookout, which I don't quite remember, like, from this exact spot, what the easiest path to the lookout would be. Yeah, see. This slope actually looks like it might be doable. If you move over on it. Really? Yeah. Once I'm actually... It looks fine from the side, but once you're trying to climb it, you realize, yeah, that incline, that's not happening, Hadrian. You're not doing that. It really does make you go north by northwest. Okay, so if we go this way, fairly soon we're going to be back at the... Yeah, I think I already see it, in fact. So there's a hut that we stopped at when we first arrived in the zone, and I can see the logging camp down there, and we're almost back there. And so I kind of know exactly where I need to go from here to find a couple of my next shelter spots. And the weather so far is being fairly forgiving. So yeah, there's our hut. There's a bunny. Hi, bunny. 2 bunnies. So if I really wanted the food, I could murder one or both of them at the moment. We're going to spare the bunnies for now, because we're headed towards some cattails. The main thing that I want to do is keep moving so that I can find a bedroll. I'm putting all of my resources towards that possibility. Okay, so here's what we need to do. This is going to be a little bit interesting. So this is going to seem a little bit like deja vu from a few episodes ago. We're going to do something slightly different this time. Okay, can't quite go through there. Oh, did they block it off? Hinterland, you wily devils. Did you block it off? No, you didn't. Okay. It's just... Okay, I wasn't expecting to get forced all the way down to this pathway, but this will still work. I think when you are approaching from the opposite direction to where I just was, it's a little bit easier. Okay, let me... So this is taking us up towards the Mystery Lake entrance, but it's also taking us towards the river and towards two of the other higher elevation cabins in Coastal Highway. So there are two cabins left. One of which is like up there, and the other which is kind of over there-ish. Alright, Jennifer's getting pretty cold. It's been a while since temperatures posed a huge threat, which is nice, I guess. Alright, starting to see some pretty good cues in terms of where we are. So I'm going to veer right pretty hard here in a second, assuming I don't have wildlife in the way, which I might. I do love the feeling. Okay, so the house is up there. I have to climb this slope and then bear right. I have to say, I do love the feeling, which I've mentioned several times now, of not really knowing where the threats are anymore. Not being sure where they're going to be. Consensus seems to be so far that, like, some creatures, at least, are in similar locations to where they used to be. Whereas some are in completely new spots. Okay. Bunnies. No wolves. Alright, so that's one house. Got some rose hips here. May as well grab them while we can. These could provide some additional caloric value. I may have to kill a rabbit if I really want to have a full belly here. I may have to. I'm trying not to. And I'm also trying really hard not to, not to drink that syrup.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Alright. Fingers crossed for a generous find or 2 or 3 here. Not looking so great. Yeah. Alright, so we got some stump remover. That's... Oh, nice. Tin of sardines. I didn't see what condition they were. We'll see in just a moment. So far, we're just finding enough to keep going, really. Another sewing kit. Somebody made a comment that sewing kits are the new fleece mittens. And you're not wrong. You're not wrong. There's some truth to that. Okay, let's just keep moving. Hang on, hang on. I need to be sure. I need to be sure before I walk away completely. I know I did that kind of quick. Let me make sure I'm not ignoring an incredibly obvious find. I'm going too quickly, which has definitely never happened to any Long Dark content creator in the history of this game. Just, you know, I don't want to make history with this episode up against all odds. Okay, we're good. We're good. Let's go back this way. Weather's starting to look pretty rough, but it might seem like we are like heading off into no man's land,
Sure I can carry much more.
but we're in fact not. The only problem is I'm not sure where the wolves might be, so I'm trying to keep a very close eye on the direction I'm moving in. This will take us up to a pathway, and once I'm on that pathway, we will still have a really good sense of where we are. Okay, so this is yet another indication that maybe the blizzards might be a little borked on account of the low wind variability setting, which is interesting. All right, there's our indicator that we are on the path. Could be a wolf on this path. Oh yeah, so blizzard sounds are definitely not completely broken, because you can hear wind, but we should be hearing a howling right now, and we're not. So this is what was pointed out to me. Really? Really? Right now? Right now. At the exact moment that I crest that ridge, and I'm able to just come over here and walk on level ground, you're going to sprain me. That's rude. Okay, so here's the thing. Yeah, that's interesting. So blizzard sounds definitely still messed up. Which is weird. You wouldn't think that would happen with lower wind variability turned on, like with that setting changed. I'm not asking for quieter wind. I'm not even asking for less wind. I'm asking for the wind to change direction less, which is what the setting entails. But it's not soundless. It's just different. It's not bad either. It's just not what you expect a blizzard to sound like in the long dark. So that's... I mean, if you recall what I said in the first episode, I wanted different, and I guess I got different. But here we go. Alright, let's step over here. Still mindful of any wolves that may be up here. You never know. Of course, if we were to need to shoot now, it would be a bit of a problem. Food, also still a problem. But at least now we're up here. And we can start making our way towards the river, and then head back down to the far side of the zone, check additional areas which may or may not have good supplies for us, and then start heading towards Desolation Point. Nice. I see a granola bar. I'll take that. The problem is, of course, now that we have this blizzard, we can't exactly move as freely. Well, truth be told, we can. I think we have enough health. I think I'm going to risk it. Especially since I only found... Are you kidding me? Okay, yeah, the only thing I found here is this granola bar. I climbed all the way to the top of Coastal Highway, and all I got was this damn granola bar. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. There is actually a method to this madness, especially now that we have despawned any wolves in the area by going inside and then outside. We're going to lose a little bit of health here. We're going to make a bit of a sacrifice for what I'm about to do. If you are new to the Long Dark, pay attention, because especially on higher difficulty, this is a good way to get a lot of food quickly when coming straight into Coastal Highway from Mystery Lake. Obviously, I didn't come from Mystery Lake, so I've had to make my way up here, but you can still make your way up here when you're coming from Pleasant Valley or from Desolation Point. And you can do what I'm about to do. You'll be fine. So at least the waterfall sounds are still working, even if the blizzard's a little bit quiet. Okay, so once you cross, this is going to keep going into the ravine. We don't want to go into the ravine. We want to come down here. Once you cross the river, you want to kind of hug this rock so that you start as close to the top of the river as you can. I'm going to go ahead and put this away. And we're just going to start grabbing cattails as we make our way down the river. And there's something else.
The hypothermia wouldn't kill me.
I just realized I misspoke earlier. I said that there are 2 more kind of cabins. Counting the one I'm going to, there are really 3 more. And the one that I'm going to now will give me a good vantage point, like a good kind of bearing that I can follow to the second one that I originally mentioned. Especially if the weather's good. Okay, so I'm just following the water here. It's literally all you have to do. You don't have to worry about any other indicator of direction than just follow the river and grab all the cattails you can. Each cattail is, of course, 150 calories. So, hooray.
God, I'd eat anything right about now.
I'm ignoring you, Jennifer. Okay. Notice that it's starting to turn a little bit to the right, which is what we want. What would be hilarious is if there was a bedroll in this cabin when I got there. The good news is there are lockers in this cabin. And we have a pry bar. So, hooray for that. Okay, nothing else there. Still plenty more cattails to be found here. That's what's nice about this. We're going to take a bit of a break because we're arriving at our destination. But then even once we have gotten some rest, once we've consumed some cattails, drank some water, recovered a little bit of the health that we've lost due to being cold, we can continue down this river and grab even more cattails. The problem is you risk pissing off the local wildlife when you do so. The upper section of this lake tends to be a little safer, although it's worth noting that that knowledge, that reassurance I just gave you, is borderline meaningless because I'm out here in a blizzard right now and I just reloaded the wildlife by stepping inside that hut and coming back out. So actually, who knows? I said I reloaded the wildlife. I unloaded the wildlife, really. Who knows whether there's a bear or a wolf up here close to this point of refuge? I don't. And right now I'm in no, there's no way I could possibly find out because I despawned the wildlife. So here's a cabin. Rabbit Grove. Got a couple of sticks laying around. I'm going to grab those rose hips, and we're going to step inside. Now, we still have daylight, thankfully.
Carry much more.
There's a nice marine flare. Oh, that's a shame. Okay. Wow. Nothing really here on the ground. I mean, there's the curtains, which give me cloth, which is nice, I guess. And maybe there's something in the locker. We'll find out. Nothing in the unlocked one. How about the locked one? Nothing. Not even a bedroll. And the game is giving me ominous music just to rub it in my face. That's nice. Okay, cool, great, wonderful. Love this. Love everything about it. We're going to just consume... Well, first of all, let's drink this water. We're going to consume all of these. Because we're going to get more. So we'll go through all of these. We'll get 1,500 calories, which is nice. Actually, slightly more than 1,500, more like 1,800 or so, when you consider the full number of them that I found. So that should keep us fed for a bit longer. And we may very well need to kill a rabbit or two if we're not lucky in the number of cattails we find and the amount of food we find on our way back down to the lower section of Coastal Highway. But then we just have to make our way back across. Again, we have a rifle now, so it's not as dangerous. And we can go straight towards Desolation Point. It just kind of stinks because I don't have the ability to sleep anywhere I want to. Unless I make a snow shelter in the snow, which is doable. But there are stopping points where you could legitimately go inside and have rest. And I won't be able to take advantage of those. And that's a shame. It makes me sad. Okay. Let's see what I can spend time doing. We're going to harvest that. I might also be able to get some reading done here. Oh yeah, I got that new simple parka. Tell you what, let's go ahead and repair this. And this will definitely improve our situation. I do want to go ahead and get that all the way up to 100. That's 2 successful repairs in a row. Hell yeah, doesn't always happen. And this is actually the better protective gear compared to the shell. So we're going to put that in combination with the ski jacket. And then this could honestly use some repair. Pain has just healed. Fantastic. That's from that sprain earlier. Okay. The ski jacket also needs some love, so let's give that some fresh repair. Pretty good repair run, I gotta say. Not too shabby. Passing a reasonable amount of daylight, doing things that are actually helpful for survival. I just wish that I had better gloves than improvised hand wraps. That's the one thing I haven't found yet. Yep, that's a 27-minute repair. We got time for that. Let's go. Okay, now we're in better condition. I could technically get rid of the new light shell, but it's a light shell. Nice. Reached level 2 mending. Light shells are nice to have around. So as long as I'm not feeling incredibly over-encumbered by it, which right now I'm not, I'm going to try and get by. Okay, so now we just need to sleep. I'm going to say 8 hours. We won't quite get that. It'll be like 7 and change. Might have an aurora. And now that I have a rifle, I'm a little bit less skittish about actually going out in an aurora, but it is not this day. Okay, well, there's not a lot left to do. I can drop this recycled can. I'm going to drop one of those books because it's just weighing me down a lot. And I'm also going to drop about half of these. We'll drop those. I need to grab some old man's beard so that I can get rid of my antiseptic. That is way, way too heavy. Okay, let's go ahead and let's say pass time for 3 hours and then maybe sleep for 1 or 2. It's not going to be the best from a calorie management standpoint. Perfect. But we will recover a little bit more health. And now we're good. Weather actually sounds quite reasonable. And now we get to find out a little bit more about what the wildlife situation is actually like up here now. Because the blizzard, the silent blizzard, has ended. Okay, so one thing to note about the cattails in this area, you want to absolutely circle this large kind of rock outcropping that's on my left, because obviously there are two water paths. And if you follow the river farther down, now let me make sure I'm not walking right towards a bear or a wolf. Okay, I'm not. We're good. Now, truth be told, that is a prop deer, and I'm tempted, since we have fog at the moment. Fog means it's a little bit warmer. I'm honestly tempted. Yeah, you know what? I think we might go ahead. Do I have a hacksaw? Can I grab one at some point? I don't. I thought I had a hacksaw. Oh, that stinks. Okay, well, maybe not. Unless I'm just overlooking it blatantly. Nope, I'm not. That's a shame. I was going to say we can just get some meat off of this deer, but until I have a hacksaw, which there's a pretty good chance I'll find one where I'm going, maybe even before the end of this episode, if I'm lucky. Okay, I missed some cattails, so let's go ahead and grab those real quick. I need all the cattails I can get. Already went back up that way, but I did miss this one. So let's grab it. I could have sworn I just heard like a half bark from a wolf somewhere. It sounded like something that like is not actually in the game, if that makes sense. If you're listening to this episode on earphones, you might have heard the same thing. Because you're hearing what I'm hearing. But I would imagine most people are not listening in that configuration. Some are, but most aren't. Okay. There's a wolf. Remember, the rifle has been very thoroughly cleaned. All right, the wolf is now hiding behind a tree. Or possibly behind a rock. I think it's just moving at the same rate that I'm moving. Wow, what the heck? Where did that wolf go? He must have gone behind that hill. I'm going to stay low to the ground just in case the wolf is coming straight towards me, but just behind a tree, which is possible. Okay. Oh, there's another wolf over... Oh, no, that is not a wolf. That's a bear. Okay. Fun times. Oh, yeah, I hear the bear crows, too. All right, so we've got a bear down there to the left, but good news, the water actually goes to the right. So we just need to keep moving this way for a bit, and hopefully that bear doesn't turn around, because frankly, I would like those cattails that I'm looking at right now. Those would come in handy. I could technically drop the bear right now, but there's no reason to piss off the game's largest predator this early in the run and risk so much. It would be a little bit cavalier of me. I would rather have a little bit more preparation and just a little bit more time in the run before I did anything quite that silly. So I'm going to stay low just for the sake of not aggravating any other animals in the area that I didn't spot. I think the bear might have turned around. Alright, I just stood up. So hopefully that bear didn't turn around. Okay. And back down the river we go. See what I mean? There's still plenty more cattails to be found along the river. And this takes us down to a spot that I think those of you who are less familiar with the zone, newer to the game, you'll be pleased to see where we end up, perhaps. If you're kind of partly familiar with Coastal Highway, but not completely. It's a good little navigation piece. The other house that I mentioned is up this hill to the left. Here are the bear tracks, by the way. So we know where the bear patrols somewhat. Yeah, so that house is not quite visible, but it's up there. I'm not going to actually go for it right now. I don't know, maybe I should. Maybe I should. Because it would be, if we got up there, we could check that off the list. If there were a bedroll there, my god, how funny would that be? I think that's the bear's cave, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, let's go on up there. We're so close to it, we might as well. Hopefully we don't walk right up on any friends. But if we do, say hello to my little friend. Okay, I'm trying to maintain high ground a bit so I can spot for any predators. We need to go up a little higher here. Yeah, we're actually quite close to where we need to be regardless. This is just a brief detour. Worthwhile. Would you look at that? It's burned out. It's burned out. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that. Okay. Well, in that case, we'll resume our original course. Thankfully, this slope is not too high of a grade. There's a hollowed out tree just up the way there. That's good to know. Right there. Okay, so I'm going to spend a moment longer before I end this recording. We're running a little bit long here, but I want to look for some cattails at the bottom of the river. Yep, a few more. At least 2 more. Because these will be our fuel for the rest of the trip. And we've kind of, with the exception of the forestry lookout, which in some ways I still want to try and find my way up there, maybe even before I get to Desolation Point, since we've done so much of the rest of the zone at this point. We've kind of gone full circle around Coastal Highway and fully explored all of the areas where a bedroll or other things might have been hiding. Which is good. Let's take a moment. All right, I think I see, yep, a few more cattails. Don't see or hear any wolves, but I feel like there might be one up on the left that's just hiding very well. So I'll be try and be careful. All right, there's 3 more here. 2. And 3. Cool. Down we go. Alright, so there are a couple of other spots. I mean, I'm talking like I'm not going to find a bedroll unless it's at the forestry lookout. That's not the case. There's still a chance I will find one in one of the other buildings that I haven't checked. There could even be one in one of the fishing huts here. That is completely, entirely possible. So let's not rule that out. Let me also not rule out the fact that there could be a bear or a wolf on this side of the river, because there wasn't one in the old spawning pattern. But there could be one in the new one. Glorious. All right, so there is a car here that I wanted to check. There's a note in the back seat. Nice. Now we're going to check this.
Man, all I can think about is food.
Note left behind. Read it. Wes. I'm going to try to make it to Mystery Lake. I'm running low on everything, but we can find enough to get us through till spring. Then we can try to make it back to Calgary. Meet me there. We'll stay for a while. Follow the tracks from the Carter. You'll see the lodge building, but we'll make for the cabins across the lake. Bring anybody you can find. Bring food and a deck of cards. See you soon, Heather. Backer 4675. All right. I do want to be mindful of the food situation once again. But I have plenty of cattails now, so let's just check the up. Perfect. Memento cache. Oh, wow. That's at the coastal townsite, where we've already established a base. How about that? Okay. Now I'm just going to walk this way. I don't think that particular fishing hut out there, this one with the door on it, I don't think I looked in there. So that's interesting. But I'm going to head down this way. We can see the fishing huts right there. No wolves in between those huts and where we are. Which is nice. Yeah, you know what? I do kind of want to go out there and take a look real quick. Let's first eat a few cattails really fast. We're back up to 19. It really is wild how quickly you consume calories passively in the long dark. Okay, so that looks like a locker on its side. So we might have a bit of beach combing here before I wrap up. Yeah, longer episode than intended today, but that's all right. Yeah, it's definitely a locker. Wow. Really bare in here. Not even anything on the shelves. Wow. There is nothing in here. Nothing. That's hilarious. All right, well, let's see if there's anything in the locker then.
That guy who drank his own pee doesn't seem so crazy right now.
You're fine. Don't worry about it. Nothing in the lockers either. Well, that's a shame. So yeah, we've come full circle because that is the first house that we stopped in when we arrived. We just didn't actually head to these fishing huts first. We headed to the logging camp, which is more in that direction. So we have definitely come full circle in Coastal Highway. We did a little bit more this episode than I would have planned. I see a wolf over there, 2 wolves, 3 wolves. Maybe even more. Just standard wolves, not timber wolves. But nevertheless, worth keeping an eye on. Because we have to head in that direction, but there may still be... It's worth taking time to make sure that I've checked all the fishing huts, because those are some of the last locations where we might find a bedroll in Coastal Highway. But as of this moment, I am making my way slowly and surely down towards Desolation Point. The only deviation, we would still be headed this direction. We might try and find our way up towards the lookout, which if the weather was a little bit clear right now, we might even be able to see it. But we can't at the moment. All right, let's step up here. Yeah, so that hut right there is an example of another one I need to check. I need to go ahead and wrap up this recording, so I won't do that right now. But we'll note that for next time. Alright, so at least one of the huts is burned out. Let's check over here for a potential Okay. Some revolver cartridges and some more matches. Wood matches, in fact, so I'll take that. But that is that. I'm going to step inside and end this in pretty rapid fashion here. And then we'll continue heading in the direction of Desolation Point
Wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
next episode. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. For early episodes, channel emotes, and member badges, look for the join button. New episodes will be arriving at 1 p.m. US Eastern Time every other day, and comments are always welcome. Leave your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time.